Dear students, welcome to the another video of Edwins. In previous video, we have discussed about the structure of neuron. In today's video, we will discuss about the animal hormones, especially in case of human. So, what are the hormone? Hormone are the biochemical substance which secreted from a special glands, which is known as endocrine glands. They are secreted from the special glands which is known as endocrine glands, and they directly mix up or secreted into the blood. That means from the gland the secretion mixed into the blood, not travels through any tube or capillary. So this is the characteristics of endocrine glands. In our body there have two types of gland. One is endocrine and another one is exocrine gland. That is exocrine glands. So exocrine glands are the glands, the secretion of these secreted and reach to the action place through a capillary or tube, and it also secreted and work in the local places. As if this is the secreted gland, this action area will be nearby area, but in case of endocrine glands these action area are present in different places. So this is the basic difference between endocrine and exocrine glands. So in human body there have 6 types of endocrine glands. Number 1 is the hypothalamus, number 2 pituitary gland, number 3 the thyroid gland, number 4 that is pancreas, which is also known as mixed gland. Why? Because we know that pancreas is a part of digestive system where the pancreatic juice or digestive juice is secreted, which is a exocrine secretion, and they secrete hormones which is the endocrine secretion. So this pancreas is known as mixed glands. And number 5 is the adrenal gland, and number 6 is gonads, which is gender specific. In case of male present testes and in case of female present ovary. So today we will discuss about the hypothalamus and pituitary. So hypothalamus is the supreme commander. It is known as supreme commander. Why? Because all secretion of the all others glands, endocrine glands, is controlled by the hypothalamus. That's why it is known as supreme commander gland. So hypothalamus is located in the forebrain. It is located in the forebrain and it has 2 nuclei. What are they? Number 1 is supraoptic. Number 2 is paraventricular. These are the 2 nuclei present in the hypothalamus, which secrete the hormone, that is antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin. This is also known as vasopressin. Antidiuretic hormone or ADH or vasopressin and oxytocin, which is actually stored in the posterior pituitary. These are stored in posterior pituitary. Okay, so this is the secretion of the hypothalamus. Beside this vasopressin or antidiuretic hormone and oxytocin, there have another 7 types of hormone releasing from the hypothalamus, which actually control the other secretion of the exocrine glands. What are they? Number 1 is ACTRH, which is known as adrenocorticotropic releasing hormone. Releasing hormone, which actually regulate the secretion of the pituitary gland, that is ACTH, which I will discuss later. Next one is the thyrotropin, releasing hormone. Okay, or TRH. Number 3, that is SRH, which is known as somatotropin releasing hormone. Okay, number 4, GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone. Number 5 is the PRH, which is known as prolactin releasing hormone. Number 5 PIH, which is prolactin inhibiting hormone. And number 7 MIH, that is melatonin inhibiting hormone. So from their name, that is either they are releasing, that means it influence the gland to release a specific hormone, or the inhibiting, that means it inhibit to produce this hormone. So they are actually the regulatory hormone which is released from the hypothalamus. That's why it is known as the supreme commander. Next one is the pituitary gland, which is known as hypophyseal gland. The pituitary gland, also known as hypophyseal gland, and it has two lobes. It has two lobes, that is anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary. The anterior pituitary is known as adenohypophysis, and the pituitary lobe or the posterior lobe is known as neurohypophysis. Okay, so pituitary gland have two lobes, that is anterior and posterior. Anterior lobe is known as adenohypophysis and posterior is known as neurohypophysis. The hormones mainly released from the adenohypophysis or anterior lobe. The posterior lobe actually stored the hormone which is secreted from the hypothalamus. So these five kinds of hormone actually secreted from the anterior pituitary. What are they? First one is the ACTH, that is adrenocorticotropic hormone, which is stimulated by the ACTRH that is released from the hypothalamus. So the blue color, that is influencing or promote to release this hormone, and the red color denoted that these hormones are inhibiting to release these hormones. The next one is the TSH, which is thyroid stimulating hormone. The third one, that is STH or GH, that is somatotropic hormone or the growth hormone. And the number 4, that is gonadotropic hormone. So the gonadotropic hormone are 4 types. Number 1 is FSH or follicle stimulating hormone. LH, luteinizing hormone. ICTH, that is interstitial cell tropic hormone. And number 5, that is LTH or interstitial cell stimulating hormone. And LTH, that is luteotropic hormone, or this is also known as prolactin. So these are the different types of hormones released from the pituitary, mainly from the anterior pituitary. This pituitary gland have 2 types of cells. Number 1 is the acidophilic and number 2 is the basophilic. Mainly the acidophilic cells are release the major hormones. What are they? Sorry, the basophilic cells are majorly releasing the hormone. The basophilic cell released the ACTH, TSH and GTH, and only the growth hormone or STH, that is somatotropic hormone, is released by the acidophilic cells. So what are the functions of these hormones? So first one is the ACTH, which is released from the basophilic cell, and the function is mainly to control the secretion of adrenal cortex. Okay, adrenal cortex that release the adrenaline, which we will discuss later. But the major function, the main function of ACTH is control the secretion of the adrenal cortex. And this pituitary gland also regulate the secretion of other glands. Regulate the secretion of other glands. That's why this is also called the master gland. So this is a confusing thing, that is, which is the master gland and which is the super commander gland or super master gland. Super master gland is the hypothalamus and master gland is the pituitary, because the hypothalamus regulate all the secretion of the others endocrine glands including pituitary, but pituitary gland regulate the other endocrine glands except hypothalamus. That's why this is known as master gland. So next one is the TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, which regulate the secretion of thyroid gland. Okay. Third one is the STH or somatotropic hormone or growth hormone, which mainly regulate the height of the human being as well as it also regulates the metabolic process. Okay. So this is the function of STH or GH. Next one is the GTH, which is gonadotropic hormone. There are four kinds of gonadotropic hormones. First one is the follicle stimulating hormone. That is mainly present in case of female, which stimulate the ovary to release estrogen and release ovum. Okay, the function of FSH to stimulate to release the hormone, that is estrogen, and to release ovum. The second one is the LH or luteinizing hormone, which is mainly responsible for the formation of corpus luteum. What is corpus luteum? When ovum is released, unmatured ovum is released, it is like an irregular structure which is called Graafian follicle. This is called Graafian follicle. Okay. So this Graafian follicle get matured and release the egg. When it releases the egg, the raised part of the Graafian follicle is known as corpus luteum. So this is nothing but the raised part except the ovum of the Graafian follicle is called corpus luteum, which is responsible to release the hormone which is known as progesterone. Okay. The third one, that is ICSH, which is present in case of male, that promote the interstitial cell of Leydig which is present in the testis. Interstitial cells of Leydig, which stimulate to release the hormone, that is testosterone. and also help in the production of sperm. Okay. And the last one, that is LTH or prolactin. This is in case of female, which promote the lactation as well as lactation when after childbirth, and also it will help in mammary gland development. So these are the hormones which is secreted from the anterior pituitary, and these are the functions of these hormones. This is anterior pituitary or adenohypophysis. In posterior pituitary, the hormone that are released from the hypothalamus and stored inside the posterior pituitary, that is ADH or from neurohypophysis. The hormone released, that is ADH, which is known as anti-diuretic hormone, and oxytocin. These two hormones are released from the posterior pituitary, and these hormones, function of these two hormones, the first one, that is ADH, which help in the absorption of water in kidney. We know there are two types of diabetes. One is diabetes mellitus and another one is diabetes insipidus. The diabetes mellitus is mainly responsible for the blood glucose level, but diabetes insipidus is responsible for the ADH. When the secretion of ADH is decreased, then the absorption of water inside the kidney get decreased. That's why the formation of urine is get increased. Formation of urine get increased, and this condition is known as diabetes insipidus. Okay. And the next one, that is oxytocin, which is responsible for the dilation of uterine wall in the time of childbirth. Okay, so these are the main functions of hormones that release from the posterior pituitary, that is ADH and oxytocin. So that is all about the hormones and its functions from the release from the hypothalamus and posterior pituitary. That's all for the today's video. If you like to get more such informative video, you may subscribe our YouTube channel Edwins, and also please do follow, like and comment in our Facebook page Edwins. Also, you can visit our website edwins.in, where you can purchase the premium version at a very low cost, and you can get the mock test series, recorded lectures, and also unlimited study materials. So please do visit right now. Thank you.
Edwins, learn, grow, succeed.